Hey Grace Church, Michael Campbell here, pastor of Children's Ministry. Hey, I just wanted to go over this Sunday's lesson on how it applies to the children, but also how it applies to us as parents and primary discipleship makers of our home. So in this week's lesson, we are going through James chapter 1 and 2. The early church was made up of mostly Jewish believers who had given up believing that they needed to fully obey God to be accepted. Grace was honestly a new concept for them, and many struggled with understanding how grace and obedience fit together. Some made this mistake of thinking that they had acceptance in Jesus, obedience didn't actually matter at all. But that greatly concerned James, Jesus' half-brother and leader in the church in Jerusalem. So he wrote a letter to the Jewish Christians scattered throughout the Roman Empire. James wanted these Christians to understand that grace and obedience do not work against each other, they actually work with each other. James wrote, "Be doers of the word. If you hear the word but don't do it, you fool yourselves. Anyone who is a hearer but not a doer is like someone who looks at himself in a mirror. It goes away and forgets right away what he looked like." James wanted Christians to realize that true faith in Jesus, a faith that comes by grace alone, will always lead to action. True faith is an active faith. And James gives us the example. When we look in a mirror and see that something is not right, our hair is out of place or there's food stuck in our teeth, we don't just walk away, we fix it. The gospel is like that mirror. It shows what we are true about ourselves, and when we see we are not living out our true identity, we should want to address it. It's important to help your kids understand that true faith in Jesus is always leading to living differently. And when we trust in Jesus, God changes our hearts so that we will want to live a life pleasing to Him. We aren't accepted by God because of our obedience. We obey God out of gratitude because we are accepted by Him through Jesus. Jesus says, "If anybody loves me, he will keep my word." And James reminded believers to be doers of the word. Jesus rescues us from sin and frees us to live a life that honors God. By doing what is good and right, people who trust Jesus can show that they really believe in Him. So here are a few questions that can help this conversation going with your home. Question 1. When someone else has shown generosity towards your family, how do you feel? Question 2. How could you share or give away to help others? And lastly, how was Jesus generous towards sinners? It's really important to know that these are really important concepts about how to have obedience and faith and works and faith put together, but it is the essence of the gospel, that we don't do it to earn our salvation because it is already there through Jesus Christ and His life that He did it for us. So hopefully this can help the conversation going, but until next week, God bless and take care.